Let's just start by saying that it is not a bad game. It's another Souls-like with somewhat decent combat mechanics focused on melee, shooting, and magic. It is mediocrity at its finest, a well-designed but rather safe game made for casual gamers with no real challenge unlike the Souls games. If you never played this game, you're not missing out on anything. Go play Bloodborne or any other like Lies of P, any other Souls likes, or play Neo if you want to experience a good Souls combat. You can skip this game and not worrying about missing out anything great. But on the other hand, a lot of people will enjoy themselves playing Flintlock. My recommendation is take it or leave it. There is nothing special there. And if you buy this game, buy it on hard sale. Don't pay $40 for this garbage. The characters themselves look stiff and wooden. Some gameplay issues like the traversal can be janky at times and feeling clunky. The combat can feel a little too stiff, and dodge and parry are not always working at the way you expect. So where should I start? Everything in this game is a flawed in its implementation. Everything in this game is flawed in its implementation. You can see it from the very beginning of the game. You will see it throughout the end. It's a game that pretends to look and feel like a quality game, but it's really not. And don't just take it from me. Just look at the main character. The main character is an abomination of cheekbones and skins. Uh, the fact that the developer at the end said that this game is ready is probably the most barbaric, misconceived, delusional idea I've ever seen. Therefore, I shall award this soulless game a 4.5 out of 10. This game looked like something from the early PS3 era. Constant stuttering, no HDR support, clunky combat, slow movement. The speed is horrendous. While sprinting, the character kind of seems like they are being pulled backwards at the same time, making it look like she is running on ice. Empty world, both lack in terms of enemy varieties and things to find. There is no good loot to be found here. Invisible walls block your path even in the areas where it seems like you should be able to go. Boring protagonist and story enforced with wokeness by Sweet Baby Incorporation. To wrap things up, the only reason I can see someone to play this game is that if you are weird enough, just happen to have nothing else to play, and an active Game Pass subscription. Play it on free or any hard sale. It is it definitely isn't worth paying for. The game is terrible garbage. The name itself doesn't sound interesting. I can't believe I am saying this, but even Elden Ring with its DLC, despite its many flaws, are a much better game if you want to experience that. The combat models in this game is terrible. Even the facial animation are pretty stiff. The lore and story seems interesting, but the delivery isn't the greatest to stay invested. It's just another generic Souls game that doesn't have anything we take it for granted in a Souls-like qualities. It doesn't have any redeeming qualities of a Souls game other than the somewhat decent graphics. Don't buy this game. Buy anything or any action game. There are hundreds of different and better action games out there in the market, especially in this day and age. I may feel like rambling because I didn't make any script for this video because I don't feel like this game deserves it. It is one of the most mind-lovingly boring game I've ever played. This this game also have those Ubisoft style like tower system where you unlock a map by going around the tower and killing its boss. Like here you kill a mini boss and then unlock the tower and go to that tower to unlock the map. This type of it is generic on the most generic of Ubisoft games ever made. Like, don't buy this game. It's not worth it in any shape or form. Although after 25 hours with Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, I'm left torn on winding up landing a run-of-the-mill Souls-like ideas like combo system made for a fresh spin on a well-trodden genre, showing a spark of creativity in its design. Those things, but those things are held back by its other underdeveloped ideas that don't necessarily excel in any particular facet. An added layer of jank certainly doesn't help. An added layer of jank certainly doesn't help the matter either. Whether you think Flintlock is a true Souls-like or Souls-light, or you may think it is a God of War-esque type of game, as it stands, the developer calls it, it is still lacking in both the departments. Setting an invasion of the undead led by ruthless Pantheon in an American Civil War context could be a good enough reason to give this game a chance. But if you add to it the gameplay, although clearly inspired by its famous counterparts, manages to present some handful of good ideas. But for every good ideas, there are particularly 10 other bad implementations in place. So I don't see any reason for this game to be doing well, or I don't see any reason for playing this game when there are much, much better non-form software games out there or non-God of War action games out there. So I don't think I'll be replaying this game anytime soon.